I wasted years of my life, years that I will not get back, believing that it was my role and responsibility in life to fix people, or even better yet, to save people. And I mean that in the most literal sense. I was raised in a fundamentalist Christian household where, as early as I could remember, it was planted in my head that your role and responsibility in this life is to save people from hell, right? That was the belief that was ingrained in me from literally as early as I could remember, which means it was programmed into me even earlier than those ages, right? From the time I was born until I had a greater awakening, I believe that my life's mission, my life's work, everything I did was for this one reason, and that was to save people. And it was no wonder why, when I started to step into relationships, whether it's intimate relationships or friendship relationships, whether it was engagements and interactions with strangers in coffee shops in the street, I believe that if I did not leave that interaction having changed that person, having saved that person, that I was worthless. And so my entire sense of worthiness came from whether or not I could change people, whether or not I could fix people. And I know it's ironic because here I am literally talking to you as a coach, giving advice, right? But the difference is, after going through this wholeness or this healing journey, I've now not only come to realize, but I've come to accept that it is not my job, it's not my role, it's not my responsibility to save anybody. And whether or not you receive this message and you do something with it, that's not my job. Even within my work, I know that if you enroll in one of my courses, you buy one of my books, everything is lined out, right? The process is all there. If you follow the process, you will get the transformation. You will go from people pleaser to personal power. That is going to happen guaranteed if you follow the process. However, I am not responsible of whether or not you do so. And so this is a mentality I really had to develop after thousands of repetitions. Like literally, I had to remind myself on a daily basis that it is not my job, not my role or responsibility to save anybody. That I am not here for the sole purpose of saving other people. Now, does that mean that I'm here for selfish reasons and intentions? Absolutely not. But that's what I believed. I believed that it was selfish, inherently selfish, to put yourself ahead of the needs of others. I believe that my work in life was to not only put my needs last, but to completely neglect and deny those needs, to completely neglect and deny my desires in life in order to act as a savior for the rest of mankind. And I suffered as a result of that. And I know without a shadow of a doubt, for all my recovering people pleasers out there, that you suffer as a result of your savior complex. You suffer. Now, you may see it as normalized suffering, right? You're so used to it and so comfortable in that space. But what you don't maybe see at this very moment in time, and hopefully I can broaden your perspective or open up your awareness to see this, is that the reason why you're staying in that place of continual and perpetual saving of others is because you're avoiding your own work. You're avoiding looking within. And it is far easier to say, look at all the people that I'm saving, that I'm helping, as opposed to going within yourself and doing the work that you actually were designed for, which is you. You were given you as your own project. You were given you in order to work on you. Nobody else. Now, can you do for others? Absolutely. Can you be an inspiration and motivation? 1000%. As a matter of fact, I believe we work better as inspiration for other people than anything else. However, it is impossible, and I do mean impossible, to change anybody. And you've tried it. As a matter of fact, you've based your entire life around it. And you've believed that maybe if you just put a little more effort, maybe if you just did a few more things, maybe if the person just understood where you were coming from, or got a certain technique, or just went to that therapy session, or just did that one. You think that if you just do that one extra thing, take one extra step, that person is going to be saved through your efforts. And I promise you, the reason why you continue to be in that perpetual cycle is because your ego is telling you that is your mission. It is keeping you from going within and from healing from your own wounds. The ego is afraid of its own loss of control, so it will continue to keep you out there externally focused. If I just fix everybody around me, everything in me is going to be fine. If I just fix my partner, then I'm going to be content and things within me are going to be perfect. I used to believe this. I really believed that if I fixed my partner, if I fixed my girl, if she was just different, if she would just understand where I was coming from, if she just understood the things that I understood, if she was just more positive, then I would be happier in life. I'd be more satisfied. I would have a greater experience in this life if they just changed. And that same mentality is what keeps us in this perpetual cycle. And again, simultaneously, we have this subconscious messaging of, I am only good enough if I continue to do for you. I am only good enough if I continue to serve, quote unquote, the rest of mankind while neglecting myself. And again, this is an avoidance of what is taking place within ourselves, the perpetual repeating trauma cycles. And it is only us who can make a decision to break those bonds from those old thought processes, those destructive belief systems that we keep so close to us that they're damn near invisible, right? They're damn near subconscious. We hold them so close that they are literally ingrained as a part of our identity. We see them as who we are. They're so close that they are us, and therefore we cannot see them. And so we believe that we're doing things from a place of love, from a place of care, right? I've heard this a multitude of times. The reason why I stay in this abusive relationship is because I love him or I love her. That's not love. That's called a trauma bond. That's called fear. That's called trauma. Yeah, this ain't an easy video to record. I'll be honest with you, because it hits so close to home for me, right? It's something that I believe is like, it's been the catalyst for my own healing journey, but it's also been, I've recognized it to be the one thing that has held back more people from their freedom and from their personal power than anything else I've yet to encounter. Because it is rooted in the one belief that is so deeply detrimental, so disempowering, yet so widely accepted that we almost don't even acknowledge it anymore. And this belief that I am not good enough until, I will only be good enough when, right? This belief of conditionality around the love we are to receive. And it begins at a very early stage in our lives when we are shown this conditional love, which I don't even call love at all, right? We can't use love if it's conditional. It's no longer love. It's just a conditionality in experience. When you do these things, I will treat you with care. When you do these things, I will show you affection. When you do these things, I will give you attention. When you do these things, I will ignore you. When you do these things, I will punish you. And so when we have that as our initial programming, we not only do it to others, but we do it to ourselves. It is only when I do these things for that other person that I am good enough. And that's what we're seeking. That's what we're searching for when we're in the state of people pleasing. We're in the state of continuous repair of others, treating people like projects that are to be fixed. It's not just arrogance, narcissism per se. It's much deeper than that. It's a belief that I'm not good enough unless I am of utility. I have to be useful, a tool, in order for me to be good enough to exist. And that, to me, is one of the most heartbreaking realizations, but it's also liberating at the same time, because once you realize this and once you accept it and once you come to see the root of it, then you can start to truly heal, to truly transcend, and to not only heal, but to remember that you have always been whole. There's this transition I really want to make from like healing to wholeness, right? It's not necessarily that you're healing, it's just you're remembering you're whole. It's like when your body is healing, right? Let's say you have a wound. When your body heals that wound, it's coming back to its natural state of wholeness. So the healing process is not you adding something different or you doing something that, let's say, was not there before. It's simply the natural process of you coming back to remember who you are. And that is what my desire is for you. That's my intention for you, is to get to a state of where you remember who you are once again. And a shameless plug before I wrap up, I published my very first book titled Doing Me Guilt-Free. Now, this is the original manuscript. I call it the Note Takers version. Boom, boom. But I will make sure to get you guys the paperback version and the ebook version link in the bio below. So make sure you get your hands on this. This is a powerful book. I say this 1,000 times and I'll say it 1,000 times more. This is the book that I needed as that 7-year-old who was finally conscious and aware, but living off of the programs that have been placed into me. This is the book that I needed to remind me of who I was before the programs, before the conditioning, before the brainwashing, in essence. Doing Me Guilt-Free. Breaking free from people pleasing and unleashing your personal power. Appreciate you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Do all the stuff. And it's not your job to fix any damn body. Peace.